After you've been involved in a wreck, one of the most important things you should do is journal. Yes, keep a journal of all of the events that are happening to you right now in your life. Why is that important, and what should you journal about? It's hard to remember some of the things if you were to sit back a year after the fact and remember what all you went through at the time immediately after this wreck and the injuries that you're going through right now, or surgeries, or having to deal with going to the doctor when you can barely walk or you can't walk. So it's important to put these things down in real time while they're happening. At some point in your case, if the insurance company doesn't do the right thing, you're going to need to tell them what you went through back when the time of the wreck. So it's important to also supplement your journal with taking lots of pictures, videos, pictures of you getting up and down in the morning, using a walker, using crutches, getting into a car, laying in bed and not being able to get out. Those type of things are good to have written down, but they mean even more when you can actually see them in a picture, and even more if you see someone struggling to just get up, see a video of that. So keep these things in mind as you're going through your struggles currently. What are some of the things you should journal about? What I like to tell my clients to journal about are your experiences that you're going through right now. It's one thing to say that you're hurting or that you're feeling depressed and you can't do things like you used to could before. That's all well and good, but we kind of know that already. It's another thing to say, you know what, I missed my grandson's birthday party because of this wreck and I was not able to go and travel to see them because I was laid up in a bed. Or I couldn't go on my evening walks with my husband that we always do. Things of that nature that tell a story a little bit and put your pain in context. So keep these things in mind as you're journaling and every experience that you have. I often tell my clients, what are some things that when you peel off the onion a little bit and you're being brutally honest with yourself, what are the things that you're most scared about right now? Journal about that. What are the things that you would only tell your best friend? What are some of the things you don't even tell your spouse about your fears about how this injury is going to affect you? These are very important things to journal. This is for your eyes only right now, and at some point later, if we're not able to get your case resolved early, I promise you, you will find that this is invaluable. The other thing that you need to journal about are the people that help you along in your story. If you have a husband that maybe wasn't at the wreck at the time, but he knows about how you felt at the hospital and how you felt during your recovery, the things he had to do to help you get better, the additional chores that he or she had to do to help their spouse out. Those are the things that you want to document, and the people that help you, the people that bring you food, your best friends who take you to your doctor's visits. These are people who can tell a little bitty piece of your story that will help put it in context. And I can tell you as a trial lawyer, if your case has to go to trial, these are your best witnesses. So what is more difficult is if people don't keep a journal and they don't keep their best friends' names or all the people that helped them or people that from church who came over and prayed with them and helped them and built a ramp for their house, for a wheelchair ramp so they can get in their house more easily. Those are the type of people that we want you to document, because if you do it 8 months or 10 months later, you're going to have trouble remembering these things. So it's best to get all of these things up front. That is another great reason that you should be journaling. A third thing you should journal about is how this injury not just affects you physically, but also emotionally. I'm not looking for excessive emotion here. I'm not trying to draw emotion out. But if you have those feelings, and a lot of people have feelings dealing with constant pain where it reaches a breaking point, where I've had clients tell me, you know what, I had a point in my life that I realized this pain is never going to go away. There's nothing a doctor can do to take it away from me. And they've told me basically I just have to live with it. And at that point, a lot of people lose hope. And that is a big emotional, psychological struggle that they have to deal with. So as you journal, think about these things. Of course, we don't want you to lose hope. There's always some hope. But these are the things that you're going through right now because you've been placed in this situation that you didn't ask to be placed in. And you've been forced here involuntarily to serve this time in your pain prison that you're in. So document it so we can best tell your story. I cannot tell your story for you as your lawyer if I don't know the whole story. And that's why I'm asking you now on the front end to document this and tell me your story as you go in. I have a funny story. One time I was trying a case, and a long time ago when I was first a baby lawyer, and I didn't do a good job, as I would hopefully do now, about asking my clients about how their injury affects them. I had a man that I represented who was injured in a bad car wreck. He had a fractured wrist, and he had his wrist fused. It was so bad, and he was right-handed. And during the middle of the trial, he tells me, he says, "John, there's one thing I forgot to tell you about." I said, "What's that, Chuck?" And he said, "I'm right-handed when I go to the bathroom. I have to use my left hand now." I know that sounds crass, but I want you to know that we got a great verdict in that case. And 4 of the jurors were men, and they came up to me and they said, "You know, we all went to the bathroom. We tried using the bathroom with our left hand." And it made a difference. And I know that's a crass example, but it's true. And I'm just telling you that because I want to impress upon you how important it is. If I don't know your story, then I'm not able to tell your story. I'm not able to tell it. I can't assume what's going on with you, and unless I walk in your shoes, I will never know. And people, and the jurors who are sitting on that jury, if they don't, they've probably never walked in your shoes, so they're not going to know. It's our job to prove our case, and we've got to prove what your circumstances are. I hope you find this video helpful. I do this for my clients because I truly care about them and I want the very, very best outcome for them. So keep these things in mind as you journal and protect your case. If you have any questions, always call me. We are here to help you. Thank you.